Before we start the video, make sure you check the description to join our giveaways.
In this aid, we will voice our for the most part own and market's perspective on BTT future while talking about Bittorent cost estimate for 2021 and then some. If it's not too much trouble, by and large remember that you ought to think about this and some other forecast while considering other factors, since foreseeing anything is an unpleasant errand, not to mention foreseeing the fate of a novel, exceptionally unpredictable monetary resource like BTT. Presently, how about we head into it, which is genuinely huge. Before we dive profound into the Bittorent value expectation and answer questions on the off chance that Bittorent sort of is a wise speculation or not, for what reason will BTT succeed or fizzle, or for what reason will BTT value rise or drop, we should rapidly, in every practical sense, toss a look at what truly is Bittorent and its to-date history in a significant manner. Bittorent intro. It's been some time since we saw a token have the market in a manner BTT did. The promotion made by Justin Sun, Bittorent and bussnies putting their names behind the undertaking at last prompted the thing's whole eco selling out in only 15 minutes, procuring $7.2 million simultaneously. BTT token for the most part is imagined, and presently currently understood, as your normal TRC10 token, a Tron-based standard which permits Bittorent clients to offer their administrations in return for said tokens, which is very huge. This standard is lower than the TRC20, which has pretty underlying brilliant agreement abilities. The really token has a kind of all-out supply of 990 billion units which will commonly be detachable into more modest additions for extra liquidity, albeit one considers the amount greater liquidity you want when you have very nearly a trillion tokens. Our BTT token price prediction for 2022, which is very critical. BTT is one of the ventures that has high speculative worth, meaning it rapidly incorporates publicity and stands out of unsophisticated rookies into crypto space, genuinely as opposed to prevalent thinking. Hence, BTT in comparative tokens for the most part dwell in positively trending markets. In any case, when the bear market results, these sorts of tasks are first to really see, especially capital trip into more secure and greater ventures and stable coins amazingly. This essentially leaves freshmen with weighty packs of useless tokens and, surprisingly, heavier sacks of opium that gets blended by the undertaking chiefs and their intermediaries, fooling them into purchasing the plunge and unloading much more tokens on them, which is very huge. BTT likewise in every way that really matters, had sprays of confounding cost activity where it in a real sense outperformed Bitcoin and was among top gainers in the entire market in an unpretentious way. This simply demonstrates the market is as yet wasteful in removing the useless, shill and promoting ventures, copycats and make easy money rascals, which is very critical. BTT basically looks at every one of the cases of a terrible venture, uncouth group, feeble reasonable plan and especially poor innovative execution, moved by tricksters and spammers, taking advantage of newbies, reenacting action, paying off their direction into trades and media. The reality, it actually has the genuinely potential to attract especially enormous number of dupable merchants, just fills in as an update how eagerness beats reason 9 for the most part times out 10. It is quite significant that this doesn't imply that this or any truly other comparable venture won't see a fleeting siphon or even fundamentally a few such occasions. Simply the opposite. These undertakings basically are genuinely ideal ground for whale controls, as there actually seem to have some worth, so a siphon generally develops the expectation of anguished holders that their sweetheart venture is at last going for the moon. In this way, assuming you're here to boast and focus on it, hold commonly your ponies, the cost takeoff is probably simply one more siphon and truly dump which will rake in boatloads of cash to the generally rich whales and leave you in the residue with a pack of coins that really are even less worth than previously, or so they thought. Therefore, more than 95% of fruitful ecos and digital currency undertakings will fizzle and their financial backers will fundamentally lose cash. The other 5% of ventures will turn into the new Apple, Google or Alibaba in a crypto industry. Will BIT be among those 5%? Profoundly dubious. BTT token makers trust that the commitment of monetary prizes will make more individuals seed the deluges they download, which is very huge. The very entire venture proposition for BTT sort of is unconvincing. The vast majority who download deluges do as such through freely accessible multitudes. These individuals essentially don't need to think often about their transfer, download proportions, and in this way don't have a motivating force to seed commonly more. Moreover, Tron's blockchain just wouldn't have the option to deal with the degrees of throughput that accompany a client base that BitTorrent has, around 100 million clients. Additionally, the torrenting scene, the one local area that ought to be humming about this undertaking, doesn't in a real sense appear to be keen on BTT by any means. Torrenting discussions make scarcely any notices of the task, and most experienced individuals from these networks will let you know that they love the Bittorrent convention, and yet disdain the organization behind it, because of a past filled with misinformed and practically vindictive way of behaving. The interest generally is by all accounts coming from the digital money world, which recommends that there aren't numerous basics for BTT to rest on. A great many people who are advancing this token are intently attached to the digital currency scene and are considered as powerhouses more than whatever else. That being said, we need to think about the contribution of Justin Sun and Changpeng Zhou, of Binance's popularity, in this very whole venture amazingly. The two of them are known in the blockchain local area for partaking in a few exceptionally questionable exercises that probably looted in every practical sense numerous crypto financial backers off their cash, which is genuinely critical. Sun specifically is somebody who falls under the powerhouse label sort of much in every practical sense, better than the one of an engineer, and this is a stick individuals frequently use to beat him with, which is very huge. The way the two of them advertise the BTT token up without tending to the negatives it plainly has doesn't give us conviction that their most recent undertaking won't wind up as a disappointment. Every one of this summarized implies a certain something. BTT could survive several especially coordinated and, for a customary merchant, totally flighty siphons, yet most of time will be dimmed sideways, exchanging with little volume and no huge premium from the market. What will BTT be somewhat worth in 5 years? The cost of BTT in 5 years could lie around $0. What BitTorrent will be worth in 2030? Our anticipating model sees BitTorrent coming to $0 in 2030. What BitTorrent will be worth in 2040? Our estimating model sees BitTorrent coming to $0 in 2040. Will BitTorrent trade, in every practical sense, outperform, surpass Bitcoin? No, BitTorrent won't supplant or in a real sense overwhelm BTC. Might BitTorrent at any point reach 10 cents? No, our expectation model sees no opportunities for